call this meeting of the Conroe Independent School District Board of Trustees to order. Let the record show that a quorum of members is present, that this meeting has been duly called, and the notice of this meeting has been posted in accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act, Texas Government Code, Chapter 551. The time is 2 o'clock. I'd like to turn the time over to Trustee Dale Inman for our invocation, followed by Trustee Teresa Wagman for our Pledge of Allegiance.
Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for the bountiful blessings you give this nation, this state, and this district. We thank you for the leadership of Conroe ISD. I thank you for each one of the men and women on the board that have put their time and energies into serving. We especially want to lift up our teachers, our staff for the awesome job they're doing, as well as our police, just keeping an eye out on our safety and security of the facilities and the kids. Father, we thank you for all these things. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And the Texas flag.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you, Mr. Inman. Mrs. Wagman?
My pleasure.
Moving on to item 2A for consent, our citizens' participation. Ms. Godfrey, do we have anybody signed up today?
We do not.
All right, moving on to item 3, consent agenda. Do we entertain a motion to approve our consent agenda?
Motion to approve?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, show by the uplifted hand. Any opposed by the same sign? Very good, motion carries unanimous. Item B, receive human resources report and consider employment of professional personnel. Dr. Knoll.
We did that on.
That was in the consent
agenda.
Yes.
Oh, that was,
Yes,
excuse
sir.
me,
That was
thank you.
part of it.
All right. Item 4, A, consider and approve the selection of the construction management at risk for the new elementary Flex 23 project and authorize the superintendent to negotiate and execute the construction management at risk documents.
All right, Mr. Foster.
Well, good afternoon, President Hubert, members of the board, and Dr. Null. It's my pleasure to bring forward you a selection for construction manager at risk for our next elementary school, Flex School number 23. As you know, our board policy requires all projects, or has determined the best value for our projects over $100,000 to be CM at risk. According to that, we've published an RFQ. We had 6 firms respond to the RFQ. State law allows us to bring at no more than 5 to our step 2 of our 2-step process. We did invite 5 to that process. We received pricing and interviewed all 5 of those contractors invited to step 2. At this time, we recommend Duratech Inc. as the offeror submits the proposal determined to be the best value for the district, and we're requesting your approval.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion or questions? All right, seeing none, call the vote. All those in favor, show by the uplifted hand. Any opposed by the same sign? Motion carries. Thank you. All right. Item 4 is executive session. Let's see here. Excuse me. The closed session of the board will now be held, and the matters contained in the notice of this meeting as authorized by Section 551.071, 551.072, and 551.074 of the Texas Open Meetings Act. Should the board determine that any final action, final decision, or final vote be required with regard to any matter considered in such a closed or executive meeting or session, then such final action, final decision, or final vote shall be either A, this public meeting upon the reconvening of this public meeting, or B, at the subsequent public meeting of the board upon notice thereof, as the board shall determine. The closed session of the board will now be held. The time is 2:04. The board is now in open session. The time is 4:01. Our next agenda item is item 8, which is human resources. A, name principal of Runyan Elementary School, Dr. Knoll.
All right. Well, what an exciting afternoon. We have a room full of wonderful people that are here to hear these next 4 items, and we're excited about it. Let me just say a few words about the group in general, and I want to give really a lot of praise to our leadership team here that has been investing in our assistant principals in Conroe ISD, Dr. Taylor, Dr. Upshaw, Dr. Winkler, Dr. Medford, and Mr. Colshan, just the work that all of the assistant soups have done to invest in our assistant principals, it pays dividends. And when we have interviews and we invite people from everywhere to come in and interview, and then our internal people stand out, I think that's something that we should all be proud of, right? That we're preparing them. And so that's what we're going to do today is name 4 new principals here and all internal candidates from Conroe ISD, so we're happy for that. So Runyan Elementary, we're looking for someone that can come in and follow Tracy Volker, which is a tough job because Ms. Volker's done just great work at Runyan and annually just performs at a high level. So we knew that we needed somebody that could come in and with the instructional knowledge to meet the needs there at Runyan. And we're confident because Ms. Anel Salas has worked with many great leaders in her time in Conroe ISD on a few different campuses and worked for great principals. And she spoke directly to that as we interviewed and talked about this position, all that she had learned from her previous principals. And so would like to make the recommendation of Ms. Anel Salas to be the principal of Runyan Elementary.
I move we approve as presented.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any conversation? All right, seeing none, I'll call the vote. All those in favor show by the uplifted hand. Any opposed by the same sign? Motion carries. Congratulations.
Thank you. President Hubert, members of the board, and Dr. Knoll. I am beyond grateful for this wonderful opportunity to serve our CISD community as the new principal at Runyan Elementary. 16 years ago, I was hired in Monterrey, Mexico to come and teach bilingual students in CISD. Back then, I was just a young girl who had big dreams, and I was determined to build a better future for me and for my family. I still remember the day I took a leap of faith. I drove about 2 hours to interview with Dr. Sharples at 7:30 a.m. in the morning. That day, I was the very first person to get hired. I remember calling my husband and asking him to find Conroe on the map. Moving to a different country has been an adventure. I truly believe that when you work hard and persevere, you can see your dreams come true. Every day, I strive to be an example, not only for my own kids, but for my students as well. Like many of our students, I didn't speak a second language at a young age. I learned English when I was 18. With sacrifices, my parents enrolled me at an English class where I studied from 7 to 10 every night for 10 months. Wow. I didn't know it then, but learning a second language would open a big opportunity for me. Conroe ISD is the community that embraced me, and for that, I am very grateful. I look forward to making a difference in our students and community. I look forward to continuing the legacy Ms. Volker has built at Runyan Elementary. I look forward to listening to, learning from, and leading my students and staff to success. I look forward to developing meaningful, trusting, and positive relationships. I want to thank all the amazing leaders who have invested in me and have helped me grow into the educator and leader I am today. I also want to thank my family, who is here with me today. Thank you to my husband, Jesus, for his unconditional support and for always encouraging me to dream big. I want to thank my son, Ivan, because he keeps me grounded and reminds me to slow down and focus on what's important in life. To my daughter, Mariana, thank you for always pushing me to be the best I can be. You amaze me in so many ways. Thank you to my parents who taught me the value of education, hard work, and perseverance. Gracias, mamá y papá, por enseñarme el valor de la educación, la perseverancia y el trabajo arduo. But most importantly, I want to thank God for allowing me to fulfill my purpose. Thank you.
It's awesome. Congratulations, and it's really nice to see your family here as well, coming up in support. Runyan's a special place for me. That's when my wife was there, and my daughter was kindergarten there, and I know it's special to Dr. Upshaw. She was there as well. That's a great school, great legacy. Congratulations, you'll do well. Moving on to item B, naming principal of Rice Elementary.
Okay. Once again, we have the vacancy at Rice Elementary because our great principal, who happens to be here tonight, Ms. Skiba, is having an opportunity to go work with her family, and so we know that we'll miss her. But Rice is one of, like so many of our schools, but Rice just seems to be one of those places that has such a proud tradition of leadership. You know, when you look along our elementary ranks, you can see throughout the years so many wonderful people have come through Rice, either as teachers or counselors or assistant principals or principals, and it is a special learning community. And so we were looking for someone that could come in there and fit into that community, but also bring an energy and the fire that they're accustomed to having in their leaders. And so we wanted somebody that knew the community. We were able to find that with one of our assistant principals that's currently at Crier. So she's very familiar with the community, and she's familiar with what those Rice Raccoons need to be when they move on to intermediate school. So it's my pleasure to recommend Ms. Denise Cuello to be the principal at BB Rice Elementary.
Move approval is presented.
All right, we have a motion. Looking for a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All right, seeing none, call the vote. All those in favor show by the uplifted hand. All those opposed by the same sign. Motion carries unanimous. Congratulations.
My heart's beating so fast. Okay. President Hubert, members of the board, Dr. Knoll, thank you, board members, for your dedication to our Conroe ISD students and for your faith in me to be the next principal of BB Rice Elementary. BB Rice is a historic landmark in CISD, and I look forward to continuing the vision and mission that Melissa Skiba and the staff at Rice Elementary have built, as well as cultivate the traditions of our Conroe High feeder as I prepare our Rice Raccoons to be successful Conroe Tigers. There are many leaders in our great district that have made an impact in my professional career, and I would like to express my gratitude to them today. Dr. Curtis Knoll, Dr. Chris Hines, Dr. Shelley Winkler, Dr. Edith Upshaw, and Dr. Tamika Taylor. Thank you for your guidance and your words of wisdom. I am a product of your nurture and your commitment to grow our own leaders. Since being hired at one of our very own Conroe ISD job fairs by Debbie Spoon, she was the first to give me an opportunity as a teacher in CISD. I've been fortunate to work under some remarkable leaders in Conroe ISD that have guided me and mentored me in my career. Dr. Bethany Medford is one such remarkable leader and has been my mentor and supporter. Dr. Medford is one such remarkable leader that she hired me as a bilingual teacher and then allowed me to serve the students, staff, and community in a different capacity at Crier when she hired me as the assistant principal. She hired me, guided me as an instructional leader, steered me towards empowering others because that makes the largest impact, along with making me aware of my unique qualities and how to use my diverse abilities to serve our students, staff, and community. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to work by your side. Another leader I had the pleasure to work with in this district is Dr. Carlton Todd. Consistently sharing his influential words of inspiration, he has encouraged me to share my story because our personal stories make us who we are and guide our purpose to inspire others. Mr. John McClendon, Although we have only worked together for 1 year, thank you for your leadership and helping me grow, as well as guiding me through your support and calmness. Through you, I was able to learn how to navigate experiences of a first-year principal. To my Crier family, thank you for a remarkable 4 years. We have overcome multiple obstacles, such as the pandemic, and yet we strive to ensure our students still have valuable outcomes. I am joined here today by my loved ones. Some are my friends, and some have grown to be like my family. I would like to take a moment to recognize my family. My parents, Roberto and Nelly. My mom is a first grade bilingual teacher in Conroe ISD at San Jacinto Elementary. They both instilled in me the value of education, dedication to goals, and strong work ethic. You made countless sacrifices for our family, and words cannot express the gratitude that I have to be so thankful to have both of you as my parents. To my husband, Chris, my love, thank you for being my anchor and always supporting me in my many endeavors. I can't imagine having achieved all of my accomplishments if you were not by my side. My eldest, Ricardo, a freshman at U of H, and my youngest, Chris, he's a first grader at Bradley Elementary. Their successes serve as a reminder of the remarkable things that we have in Conroe ISD. My brother and his wife, my mother and father-in-law, thank you for your constant love, support, and encouragement. I'm grateful and honored to embark on this journey to serve the community, staff, and students as the principal of B.B. Rice Elementary.
Good job. Good job.
Very happy. Thank you.
All right. Very nice, very nice. Congratulations. Awesome. All right, we'll keep the party going here, Dr. Knoll. Let's find item C, name a principal for Geesinger Elementary.
All right. I told you our people are really good.
They are.
They are.
Very passionate. I like
That's
that.
right. That's right. Well, I first would like to acknowledge Melissa Ralston, who's our current principal at Geesinger, and next year she's going to make a move to still serve in the Conroe feeder, but she's going to make the move over to Patterson Elementary. So I think she's here. We say congratulations and thank you to Ms. Ralston for that. But with that came an opportunity to hire a new principal at Geesinger, and we've seen Ms. Barber be an outstanding leader at Geesinger for years, and to the point where we were all wondering internally when would be the opportunity for her to be a principal. And she would be very capable to be a principal at any school, but she's absolutely the perfect fit to be the principal at Geesinger, where she served so well as the assistant principal and has already built a legacy there, and will be able to continue on the very proud tradition. So I'm happy to make the recommendation for Ms. Amy Barber to be the next principal of Geesinger Elementary.
So move.
All right, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
All right, we have a second. Any discussion, questions? Seeing none, call the vote. All those in favor show by the uplifted hand. Any opposed by the same sign? Very good, unanimous. Motion carries. Congratulations.
This is going to hold. I have this down to a minute and a half. President Hubert, members of the board, Dr. Knoll, thank you for this amazing opportunity, leading this amazing district and supporting the continued growth of educators. My entire career has been here at Conroe, and I have been surrounded by fantastic leadership, many who are all around the room tonight, both at the campus and district level, and that has always inspired me to continue to grow as an educator. So joining me tonight is my husband, Trey Barber. You have to wave whenever I call your name. Thank you for rolling with whatever the spouse of an educator has thrown at you these last 16 years. You never doubt my potential and listen with a calm, steady voice of reason when I need you the most. Thank you. I love you. My children. Y'all have to wave because there's a lot of you. Addison, Kaysen, Cannon, and Cambrick.
Oh, boy.
This is your school too, Geesinger Elementary. On any given day, you'll find my kids running errands around campus, walking students to class, running trash cans to help custodial in the mornings, working the car line, and countless other jobs without complaining. My kids represent Geesinger, Crier, Pete, and Conroe High. So I have one of each everywhere. They're all over the place, so they can help in the morning before school starts and in the afternoon. It's amazing. Thank you. I love you. My mom, Georgianne Bolton, for buying me my first chalkboard when I was a little girl so I could play teacher, and for helping raise our babies early in my teaching so that I could work guilt-free late nights in the classroom without using all of my days. You are my biggest cheerleader. Thank you, and I love you. This was a minute and a half without tears. Melissa Ralston, you are my work sister. Thank you for your guidance, your support, your memories, but most of all, your friendship. I have learned the qualities of the leader I want to be by watching the graceful way you have led our school these last 7 years. I look forward to this next step in our journey together. Thank you, and I love you. I wish I had time for all this. Neva Hammonds, she's our amazing secretary. Amanda Barton, our awesome counselor. And Connie Payne, who's one of our dyslexia teachers and my first teaching partner in Conroe 16 years ago. And the rest of our amazing Geesinger staff. They are the reason our school shines. I promise that I will do everything I can to take care of and support them so that we can continue the amazing work that we do every day with our students. They are the best part of our school. Thank you, and I love y'all. That's it.
Good job. Serious about it. Passion.
I love it. Love it. I know. All right.
After Friday.
Chalkboard as a kid. That's dedication.
Never know. Right? Never know.
Dedication. All right. We have one more. So we would like to name the principal for Hope Elementary, Dr. Knoll.
All right, and as we know, last month we named Mr. Lozano as our district bilingual and ESL coordinator, which has created this vacancy at Hope. And Hope is a special school, brand new, but it already, under Mr. Lozano's leadership, has a culture of kind of a calm steadiness and that's focused on instruction. And so that was kind of, we looked for someone to bring that same personality, right, that could come in and fit with what's already been built. Needed to have a very strong academic background, and we get the feedback from the staff, and one of the things that they really pushed was that somebody needs to understand our kids and understand where our kids have come from and where they need to be. And so we've been able to make a recommendation today of somebody that's been working in the Caney Creek feeder, but also has extensive background in the Conroe feeder, and is ready to serve those students and make sure that they are prepared as they go through Hope Elementary. So we're proud to make the recommendation this afternoon for Christina Upshaw to be the next principal of Hope Elementary.
All right.
So move.
We have a motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Very good. Any questions or concerns? Very good. All those in favor show by the uplifted hand. Any opposed by the same sign? Congratulations, Ms. Hope. Principal at Hope.
I second the heart racing part. President Hubert, members of the board, and Dr. Knoll, I would like to thank you for entrusting me with Hope Elementary. I'm honored to accept the opportunity to lead the staff and students as principal and lead learner. I take this blessing with my whole heart and will strive to make it a positive environment for our students and staff every day. Tonight, I have my family in attendance supporting me as always, my husband Saul, and my daughter Kenley. I also have my brother and sister-in-law, Edith and Ethan, and many other members who are with us in distance, cheering constantly. I would like to thank some of the most supportive mentors I could have. Dr. Shelley Winkler, Dr. Tamika Taylor, Mrs. Tricia Thacker, and Mrs. Lisa Garrison. I appreciate the hard work and dedication of Gilberto Lozano and the Hope Elementary staff during the inaugural year. I look forward to continuing the traditions started this year and for building upon them for years to come. Thank you all for your confidence and support in being chosen to lead and empower the Hope Elementary family. Thank you.
All right. Dr. Knoll, you mind if we have about a 5-10 minute recess?
If,
Appropriate?
yeah,
Yeah.
you want to
Go
read
to-
the,
We can go to executive
yeah.
session, maybe take a break on
yeah,
after that.
Oh, okay.
yeah, read that, and then we can go back, celebrate with them here.
Okay, let me read something real quick, and then we will go back into the executive session. Okay. A closed session of the board will now be held on the matters contained in the notice for this meeting as authorized by sections 551.071, 551.072, and 551.074 of the Texas Open Meeting Act. Should the board determine that any final action, final decision, or final vote be required with regard to any matters considered in such closed or executive meeting or session, then such final action, final decision, or final vote shall be at either A, the public meeting upon the reconvening of this public meeting, or B, at the subsequent public meeting at the board upon notice thereof, as the board shall determine. A closed session of the board will now be held. The time is now 4:23. The board meeting is now in open session. The time is 5:17. Moving to item 8, consider recommendation of superintendent to propose non-renewal of term contract employee for reasons stated in board policy DFBB and designated hearing type.
I move that the board approve the superintendent's recommendation to propose the non-renewal of Orokose Osamale's term contract for the reasons stated in board policy DFBB local, that the hearing, if any, be conducted by the Board of Trustees, and that the board authorize the superintendent to provide notice of these actions to Ms. Osamale.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any conversation? Hearing none, all those in favor show by uplifted hand. Any opposed by the same sign? Motion carries. Thank you. We have a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
All right.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Take a